Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. Listen, welcome to Teamwork Tuesdays. Watch this. If I followed your team for a week, I'd probably see a lot of activity. What I'm sure, what I'm not sure I'd see is real ownership. That's what we're going to talk about today because busy does not equal productivity or being productive. I am Dr. Cliff Freeman of drcliffreeman.com, keynote speaker, author, and leadership coach. And what I do is I help overwhelmed and exhausted leaders lead teams that flow in the same direction, regardless if you're in the for or nonprofit space. Why? So that you can live better and live longer, because a strong leader is not a stressed leader. And so we come on here every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We get right to it because I know your time is valuable. And I just want to share just a few quick nuggets with you to help you be an effective leader and to help your team flow in the direction that they need to flow. So today we're talking about busy is not always, or busy is not productive. If you and I could all agree that we have seen or we have been in places where we were times that we were busy, right? That we were just doing a lot of different things. And if you're here for the first time, go ahead and put a DSG in the chat. That means do something great. DSG, do something great. So we've all been at a place where we've been busy before, right? We've been busy doing this, busy doing that. As a matter of fact, right now, it is a few days before Christmas in the US. And so wherever you are, I don't know if you celebrate Christmas or not, but right now in this holiday season, a lot of people are really, really busy. Just busy doing this, busy doing that, busy doing this, busy doing that. They're busy, 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 busy. Some people say busy bees, right? They're busy, busy, busy doing a lot of different things. And so, with that, just because you're busy doesn't mean you're being productive. So let me show you what it really looks like in a real organization. What does it look like to be productive in an organization? So when there's productivity happening in a true organization, yes, I'm a 49er fan. What does it really look like to be productive in an organization? I'm gonna give you these three teaching points, and then we're going to be out of your way. Remember, because I always promise you 10 minutes or less that you can change your leadership and even ignite and spark something great within your organization. So the first thing that you're going to see is there's going to be responsibility without excuses. Okay, there'll be responsibility without excuses. You all know I talk about ownership. Well, when you have a responsibility, when you're being productive, you're going to do what you need to do, what you're supposed to do, what you have to do, what you're required to do without excuses. You're not going to give excuses for why it didn't get done, how it didn't get done, why it wasn't done a certain way. You're going to be responsible in an organization that's fully aligned, in teams that are going in the same direction. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have, thank you, Dean, I appreciate that. You're going to have individuals that are fully responsible. All right. As kids, we had a responsibility. I had a responsibility to take the trash out. And that was my responsibility. That's what I had to do each and every week, or each and every day, quite honestly. And I had to do just that. I couldn't give an excuse. When you are fully aligned with what's going on, productivity looks like responsibility, where you're doing what you need to do. It's not just I'm just kind of doing some stuff. No, it's not just being busy, it's being productive. Okay. Being busy is not the same as being productive. Let's go to teaching point number two. When there's real productivity happening in an organization, not only is there responsibility without excuses, but secondly, in the second place, there's authority with alignment. There's authority with alignment. One of the greatest ways you can see authority is if you've ever come up on a construction site, and sometimes it'll be a sign that says it's a one-lane road. And the one-lane road just tells you that there's the traffic. It's a two-lane highway, but the traffic is all going to merge to one lane. So one side is going to have to stop, and the other side will be able to keep going. But there is something that happens in order to determine who goes when. There are flagmen there. The flagmen are there to tell us which group to stop and which group to go slowly, right? What gives them this authority? Well, first of all, the alignment, they're aligned with the sign that says one lane road ahead. They're aligned with the foreman or forewoman that's leading the construction project. They're aligned with the township that says they're supposed to do this construction project. But watch this. The sign gives them the authority. And because they're aligned, their authority is in sync with the alignment. Excuse me, is in sync with their authority. So their authority is there, then they're in sync with what their responsibility is. When we are being productive, we're going to know what we're supposed to do, and we're going to do it because we've been given the task, we've been given the not only the task, but we've been given the responsibility to get it done. All right. So in organizations where there's not just business, but there's productivity, there's authority that's with the alignment. Okay. You're aligned in order that's why you can do what you can do. You don't want to just be running rush out all over the organization just doing stuff, because that's not being productive. You want to be in line with what you're supposed to do. Does that make sense? All right. So there is responsibility without excuses. You're not making excuses, but you're doing what you got to do. And then secondly, there's authority with alignment. Third point, third point. How do you know that what's busy is not productive? The third point. Here's what it looks like. Productivity really looks like in an organization. There is follow through that finishes. Follow through that finishes. If you've ever seen anything that I do, you know that I always talk about execution and doing things in excellence. I like to say in a spirit of excellence. If you've ever read the Bible, and I'm a man of faith, so I believe the Bible. And there's a story in the book of Nehemiah where they rebuilt the wall of Jerusalem in 52 days. And there's one verse in there in I think it's chapter 4. It says something on the lines of the wall was built, it was joined together, and it was built half of its height at this point because the people had a mind to work. When you want to accomplish something, you will follow through and you will finish the task. Your responsibility is to finish the task. We play football. You couldn't just hit the guy. You had to hit, wrap, and drive him to the ground to get the guy to the ground. When your organization has productivity, individuals will not just finish, they'll follow through all the way to the finish, not just kind of hang around and do something that they think is what they ought to do, but they'll not just be busy, they will be productive. That's what productivity looks like. There's responsibility without excuse, there's authority with alignment, and then there's follow through that actually finishes. You have a responsibility, and your supervisor, your leader, and everybody has a leader. I don't care if you're the CEO. If you're the CEO of a public company, guess what? Your shareholders are over you, right? They expect you to keep the company in a position where the company is going to win. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just being busy, you're not being productive. But today is the day where you do something great, where you DSG, you do something great to say, I'm now not just going to be busy, but I'm determined to be productive. Does that make sense? Hey, everything I share on Teamwork Tuesdays is a snapshot. It's a brief morsel, a brief snapshot. I can't even talk. A brief snapshot of what I do and how I share with organizations, corporations, for and nonprofit organizations. If you are saying, you know what, my team needs to be aligned, it's time for us to be productive and not just be busy. If you are a leader that says, I'm overwhelmed, I'm exhausted, I'm tired of that, I'm ready for my team to flow in the same direction, hey, let's talk about it and let's see how CORE and the art of contagious teamwork can help you be the effective business that you can be. All right. Thanks for tuning in for today's Teamwork Tuesday. Remember this, I'm Dr. Cliff Freeman of drclifffreeman.com. You can follow me there. You can make sure you click the thumbs up, smash that thumbs up. That's the like button. You can hit that subscribe, because it helps the channel to grow and help more people know what's so great about this thing called teamwork. All right. Why? Here's what I always say. Teamwork, it's not talent, it's trust. All right. I'll see you next Tuesday for Teamwork Tuesdays. I'll talk to you soon. Be blessed. Peace.